podcast, my first podcast episode. Okay, without, planning that. That's cool. Hello everyone, it is the Day J and I'm back with another video. Finally, long time no see. I haven't seen you guys since the fall time, and it is now springtime of 2024, and that is crazy. Time flies. I'm so happy to be back. I'm sorry I was gone. I had a lot going on in my life, and we're gonna get into that. My life updates, channel updates, all of that fun stuff. But anyways, thank you guys for being here and clicking on this video despite me being gone for months. I really appreciate you for being here on my channel today. So today is just gonna be kind of a chit chat video. We're gonna discuss my life updates, channel updates, what's new in my life and on the channel, but as well as my New Year's resolutions, because I haven't gotten a chance to share that with you guys yet. And I really took a lot of time to think about what I wanted this year to look like. This is my second year as an adult, and life is lifing for sure. I am adulting, bills, doctor's appointments, like life is lifing, y'all, for sure. And I just wanted to take some time to just share what life has been like for me, and this just new era that I'm walking into this year. So I have my handy dandy iPad here with my notes so that I can stay on track and everything. So first I'm gonna go in with my updates on my personal life and just like New Year's resolutions, everything that's been going on, all of that stuff. So I have not shared anything with you guys or even on social media yet. So I am now really an adult because I now pay rent. Yes, I pay rent. Not the whole rent. I do pay a fraction of it because I still live with my parents and my sister as well. So we all split the rent, but I'm still paying rent, okay? And that is very new. I now pay my phone bill, and like this is not like a flex. Like I honestly envy those who still can, don't have to pay rent, who can get their phone bill paid. Good for you. Do that as long as you can, because yeah, I've been budgeting pretty hard. Anyways, school has been really great. I actually got accepted for the scholarship, or sorry, I didn't get accepted, but I was eligible and I applied to the scholarship that if I do get accepted, which I find out this month, April, in a couple weeks or so, if I get accepted, if I get this scholarship, I have a full ride for my next 2 years of college. I know there's a bunch of other scholarships out there for me, and I've actually applied to a couple of them, and like there's state grants and all of that, but there's still going to be some money left over that I would have to pay out of pocket, and that's not ideal. So yeah, but either way, I'll be continuing on next year. And I don't know if you guys know, but these last 2 years, 2020 to this year, I graduate this spring with my liberal arts degree. And then next year, and for the next 2 years, I'll be focusing on my major, which I think is going to be psychology, major in psychology and a minor in entrepreneurship. So that is what's going on in my school life. And also, the friends that I've made in school, I feel like we've been connecting a lot more and getting a lot closer. I just recently went to one of my friends' birthday. She had a dinner kind of like with her family and everything before, and then we kind of just went out to the club, had fun. It was super fun. It was actually my first time just like being with her outside of school, so that was really nice. My other friend Taraya was there, and King. It was just really fun, really good time, and I'm just really happy that I've been feeling closer to those people at school, mainly because the friends that I've had since high school or middle school, and all of those friends are actually not in college, so it's kind of hard to connect with them just because our schedules are so different. I'm so busy, they're so busy, and then also we live like 30 minutes away from each other. I don't have a car, most of them don't have a car, so it's just very hard to connect with them Still love y'all. If y'all watching this, still love y'all. And I know we both try our best to connect with each other, but it's always hard. Yeah, it's just been hard. So I've been connecting a lot with my friends in school, which has been very nice. And so with that, coming into the new year, I realize it is now April, but we are still talking about the new year and my New Year's resolutions. I really, it was like, of course I wanted to move my body more. Of course I wanted to eat better. Of course, I wanted to read more, like all of these things that are really great. But I really had to think about, like, what did I need? Like, what did I need for myself? What did my body need? What did my mental need? What did the future me need? What did the future me need? I really realized that, honestly, like, for my entire life, I've been so off track when it comes to health and wellness and just like nutrition and all of that. Of course, there would be like spurts, like a month or a couple months, where I'd really be working out. I would try to be really eating healthy, but that wouldn't last too long. I would always fall off. And so yeah, all my life I've really just been not the healthiest person as far as like, especially nutrition. I think I've always been the type to move my body. I've always been like in sports, or I've always just like worked out for the most part. Not every single day, but like I always like go on a walk or just something. I always move my body, but mainly nutrition wise and just like what I put into my body has not been great. It's actually probably been pretty terrible. And so being very honest with myself, I realized like I'm not gonna go from like a very terrible, non-nutritious, very high processed diet to a very clean, whole foods diet. Like that swap is not going to happen overnight. Like that's just common sense. And I think we tend to overestimate what we can do as humans, as far as like change and all of that, because change is actually really hard, because we're like hardwired to do certain things. I know for me, I have a slight addiction to sugar and processed foods, and I'm really working through that and really just trying to train my body to like whole foods, because quite honestly, I don't like, my taste buds don't like whole foods. Like they taste not that good to me, if I'm just being so honest. So 2024 is my year of really just starting from the basics, y'all. Really, like with my nutrition, especially. I've just been working on eating less processed foods, more whole foods, more veggies, more higher quality protein also, because prior to doing some research, I didn't know that certain proteins were better for you. Like I just didn't know that. For me, I'm a very picky eater, so like what this looks like for me is a lot of trial and error things. I'm for the last couple, or I would say few months, I've been trying out new recipes, new foods and all of that, just to see what I like and see what I can do as far as like making my own healthy meals. And so far I really am just obsessed with rice, chicken, and just like any type of veggie, whether that's peppers, broccoli, or just anything like that. I love any type of rice and protein, any like rice and shrimp, rice and fish. I will eat that any day. And I realize like that's probably not the most nutritious I can get. I can get more nutritious than that. I can add more veggies. I can add better like good fats to that. I can add those things, but that we're not there yet, right? We're really starting very basic, very simple, because if I get into all of that, making sure I'm hitting like the grams of protein, I'm getting every single grain, like if I'm worried about all of that right now, I will do none of that and I will order McDonald's. So being that just 5 months ago I was eating like 5 out of 7 meals from a fast food restaurant a week, now my main focus is just making sure I'm eating 3 home cooked meals a week. 3 home cooked meals a week. Because before it was like 0 to 2 a week. And so now I've really gotten in the habit of doing 3 meals a week, and I'm actually going to bump it up to 4, I think, starting this month, because I've been doing this since about November, I would say religiously like December or so. And so I'm going to bump it up to 4 home cooked meals a week, or I might just keep it at 3 home cooked meals a week, but add some more nutritional value into those meals, if you guys see where I'm going. Okay, so with all of that being said, I am calling this year 2024 the year of the foundations, and I will input my mood vision board for 2024 on the screen so that you guys can look at it and really just see what I mean by the foundations. That means the foundations when it comes to food and how I'm eating, the foundations when it comes to how I'm moving my body, the foundations when it comes to friendships, because quite honestly, it wasn't until about last year that I realized what it really means to be a friend, especially when you're an adult, right? Because I think a lot of us have grown up with friends in school and things like that, like very accessible friends that we've met through school for the most part, or through sports or whatever. It's very easy to hang out with them and to socialize and whatnot, but when you become an adult, I think friendship dynamics change, and I think I learned that, and I'm now implementing that into my friendships now. And I realized that over the last year and a half or so, I've made a lot of new connections. I'm very proud of myself because I was actually a part of my last year's New Year's resolution was to make new friends, and I definitely did that, so I'm very happy about that. So yeah, y'all, like, the foundations, it is exactly what it sounds like, really starting very basic. On a normal day, I do move my body through walking quite a bit. I usually get around 8,000 steps or so on a normal day, like 5 days out the week or so. And so I'm not moving my body at all, but I do want to start weightlifting more and just moving my body in different ways, especially like I said, weightlifting, and then also cardio, getting my heart rate up more, I think is very important for me personally. And so literally, you guys, for my entire life, when it came to weightlifting, I would do it like religiously for a few weeks. I would do it like 4 times a week for a few weeks, and then I would fall off and not do it again for a few months. Then I'll pick it up again, and then I would stop, and then I'll pick it up again. We're not doing that no more. Actually, what I told myself in the beginning of this year is that I would move my body in some way, shape, or form every day, whether that's through walking, running, or weightlifting. Doesn't matter which form, but just moving my body for at least 30 minutes a day. That's what I told myself as my New Year's resolution, and I've definitely been doing the walking part. I have not been in the gym weightlifting, and so I think actually for a few weeks now, I've been wanting to wake up before school and go down to my apartment's gym and weightlift, because really the morning time is really the only time where I really have time to work out, because after school I'm having to cook, I'm having to do homework, and I'm having to shower, get ready for the next day. And so the morning time is really the only time I have. And so I've been thinking about it for the last few weeks, thinking about getting up in the morning before school. And so we're gonna try that Wednesday, when I go back to school. We're gonna try that and see how it goes. I actually worked out today. I didn't have school or work today, so I worked out this morning, which was really nice. But yeah, we're bumping it up a bit. I've been moving my body every day through walking, but now I'm gonna push myself to do some weightlifting, and maybe add in a bit of cardio. I don't know. But so yeah, y'all, really this year is really just like starting very small, very basic, and building up from there, because I realized in past years, or just past times where I wanted to be more healthy with my diet and with my movement, I really found that in the beginning I tried to go all in and I very quickly fell off. And so I don't want to do that anymore. I want to really build things up and make it a part of me, not just something I'm trying to do just to do it. Like I really want working out and eating balanced, or eating balanced meals to be just a part of who I am and how I identify. And so that's kind of this new identity I'm stepping into, is a healthy person, because I would say 5 months ago, if you asked me like, are you a healthy person, I would honestly chuckle at that. But I think if you asked me now, I would say I am decently healthy. I think there is a long way to go for me to confidently say I am healthy, but I am definitely working towards that. And I think that is a lot better than just chuckling at the question. And so yeah, y'all, we are gonna move away from our personal life updates and go into some channel updates. So you guys have never seen this kind of like setup or background before, like me sitting in front of my bed. Well, first of all, the last time I was filming, actually, we were in a different apartment unit. We're still in the same complex, but in a different unit. And so the room is set up different, and so it looks different. And also in the past, I've done on my channel a lot of vlogs, and I didn't have like a designated place where I sat down and filmed for the most part, because I was doing a lot of vlogs. But I think this is more the vibe. Just very sit down, chill, the same spot for most of the videos, I think, just to gain some familiarity on the channel. I think I just like the idea of just being in the same spot. And so with that, on this channel, for the most part, I'm going to be doing less vlogs, not completely cutting out the vlogs, but every once in a while there'll definitely be a vlog. But more often than not, it would be this kind of format of like a just sit down chit chat style video. And really, this format is, I'm thinking kind of like a podcast vibe. That's kind of the vibe I want to give off with it. I am eventually going to get like a little microphone so that the audio is better. Not saying I need a microphone for it to be a podcast, but I just think it would help the audio a lot. I was eventually thinking about making a separate channel for this kind of style of content, like podcast style, making a whole separate channel, because I do have a podcast name in mind and already have a name for this channel, and this could be kind of just my fashion and vlog channel. I don't know. I'm kind of in the midst of thinking about that, but for now, all of my videos will be posted onto this channel. So yeah, think of this, whenever you see this background, think of this as a podcast. And honestly, I might just label it a podcast. Should we just start a podcast? Is this, like, to be clear, I've been thinking about this for like 8 months now or so, about starting a podcast, but I'm honestly just thinking like, this is the style of a podcast. This is where I would be for my podcast. And it basically is a podcast. It's just on my normal channel. I think I'm just going to put podcast episode 1 and then the title of this podcast. I think that's a move, y'all. This is a podcast, my first podcast episode. Okay, without, planning that. That's cool. But anyways, y'all, once a week is my posting goal. I have not came up with a day yet as far as like what day I'll be posting, but I will definitely let you guys know. I'll probably do like a community post on my page so that you guys can see that. Yeah, so I hope you guys like enjoy this new style, this type of vibe. But yeah, with that, y'all, let's get into like the meat of this video and what I really, really want to talk about with you guys today. How do you expect to become this dream version of yourself? if you're always starting from 100 and then falling off. You can never be consistent with these things, or this identity shift that you want to move into. You can never be consistent with it because you're going into it doing all or nothing and then falling off. And that's me. Like, I do that all the time. Well, I did that all the time when it came to working out, eating healthy, like changing my mindset on things. Like, all those things, I tried to go all in, full force, and I would always fall off. So what I would recommend, and kind of what I touched on when I talked about my New Year's resolutions and like just my personal updates, I recommend starting from the basics, starting very simple, right? Because I think it just gets so easy to become overwhelmed with all of the things that you can be doing to help your nutrition, your gut health, all the things you can be doing to lose weight or to be building muscle or to see results from the gym, or there's just so many things you can be doing to help yourself with your health overall, right? There are so many options. And I think we tend to feel like we need to do all of them or a lot of them to see results right away. But really, in reality, what it is that we need to do like one, maybe two of those health and wellness things, practices. And then once we get very comfortable with doing those one or two things, add another thing, right? And once you get comfortable with those two or three things, add another thing. With working out, let's say you don't work out at all and you want to start working out. Well, you can start going on walks every single day, and maybe weightlifting one day. Or you can just get your gym clothes on and go down to the gym, or go to the gym wherever your gym is, and just do that. That is the first step. Like, it sounds so simple, a little stupid, that like you just get your clothes on, just go to the gym. But honestly, once you have your clothes on and you're in the gym, like, your brain is going to be like, well, you're already here. You already have the clothes on. Let's get to it. So, and that's actually what I had to do today. I didn't feel like going to the gym. And so I just got my clothes on. I went down there, and honestly, I had to drag myself down there. But once I got down there, I'm like, well, I'm already here. So we might as well just get on with this, right? I also think a lot of like social media health and wellness trends have really like shifted our perspective for the worse, as far as like how we should be taking care of ourselves and just like how much self-care we should be doing. And I don't know. I'm not really here for it. I just think it's very unrealistic for someone like me who is starting really from the bottom, someone who has grown up eating very how should I say, like calorie dense, low nutritional value foods. It's not realistic for me to be eating green salads for every meal, a green juice. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not doing that, okay? Number one, I don't even like salad, so I'm not eating salad. Like, you have to find, first of all, what works for you, and then you have to be very realistic about it. Like, if you have not worked out in a year, you're not going to go, to the gym 5 days a week. Like, just stop lying to yourself. And I've done this so many times, but now I'm just like, be so for real. Like, just be honest with yourself so that you can save the disappointment later, right? Because when you write out like this whole fitness plan or this whole meal plan, you say like, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days a week for an hour, I'm gonna meal prep each of my meals, and blah 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 blah. Usually what happens, if you are like me and you haven't been working out at all and eating straight junk, usually what happens, if you go to the gym for the first day, you might even go for the second day, but then the third day comes around and you're like, nah, I can skip this day, we'll be fine. And then you just keep doing it. That's literally what happens. But if you plan out very realistically, like for me, I tell myself I only have to work out twice this week. I can do that. Like that, if I just tell myself, like, just very minimal, very basic, very realistic goals, I will 9 times out of 10 end up doing those things. And honestly, I will end up, after accomplishing those 2 workouts, I honestly will end up feeling like very good about myself and then adding another workout in the week. So that's usually how it kind of works for me. I come from a family who does not practice the healthiest habits, if I'm being honest. And so I've grown up seeing and practicing those unhealthy habits myself. And I would say like the last couple of years, I've just been doing research, just learning new things about just health and your body and all of that. And I've been trying to unlearn these unhealthy practices and replace them with healthy practices. And so I just want to acknowledge that it can be so hard to change or go against the status quo of what the people in your family, the people that you love and you care about and that you may be close to, are doing. It can be so hard to be that one person in your family to go against the grain. Like, trust me, I am that person, and I feel it every day. It's very hard. It can also feel very isolating at times. You feel like you're the only one who's, trying to who's working on these things, and you can't really talk to anyone like in your immediate family about these things that you're going through. So that can be a little hard, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. I think another thing that also comes with coming from a family or even generations of people who didn't necessarily practice the healthiest of habits, I think subconsciously I also kind of think sometimes that like I'm not genetically capable to like have a fit body or to have a healthy gut, or I'm not genetically capable to like work out every single day and eat these healthy foods, because for so long, for so many generations in my family, they haven't worked out. They've been eating processed foods, very calorie dense, high sodium foods. And so I feel like I'm just like genetically drawn to those bad foods, and I'm going to continue eating them and all of these things. But I know logically, rationally, I actually haven't done a lot of research on this, but I'm pretty sure like it doesn't really, like there is some correlation there, like as far as like what like your parents like and what they eat, and like what you eat and what you like, but there's not like a direct correlation there, like if I'm not mistaken. So like, yeah, like just because they haven't worked out one day in their life doesn't mean that it's gonna be complete hell for me trying to work out, every single time. It is gonna be hard at first, and I've definitely experienced that, but I think that I can be just as consistent and get, just as good as results as these people that I see online or around me. I think it's just very important to, when coming from a family like mine, who again don't do healthy things necessarily, when coming from a background like that, I think again it's just very, very important to start small with what you're doing, because you're not going to have a lot of support in your immediate family. You're not going to have people that you can lean on, and people who are going to push you to get up and go to the gym, or to eat the protein shake instead of the ice cream. Like, you're not going to have those people likely in your household if you were like me. And so starting small really, I think, helps that, because really you get in the habit, and once something is a habit, it's hard to break, right? And so again, like, if you are someone who comes from a family like mine and you don't have a ton of support when it comes to health and wellness, and people around you don't really care about health and wellness, I just want to say that salutes to you. Like, you are awesome for taking charge of your health and for being concerned with it and trying to learn more about it, and I think just because of that, you will see good outcomes in your health just because you want to do better. And I think inevitably you will, right? And I think this is a message to myself as well, because I honestly get terrified of like diseases and illnesses and sicknesses because it runs very prominently in my family. And so just wanted to send that message out to anyone who is living in constant anxiety when it comes to health and wellness. I just kind of wanted to wrap up and just talk about some of the cycles that you may find yourself in when it comes to health and wellness and trying to step into this new identity. Again, I kind of brushed on it earlier, but like for me, I used to like do everything good one day, wake up, work out, eat the great meals, eat just very well and move my body and just do all the things, right? But then the next day, I didn't do anything. I probably just stayed in bed and maybe ate some chocolate or something. And for so long, I found myself in these cycles up until like literally a few months ago. And I realized it was because I was going all or nothing. And a lot of the times I wouldn't ask myself what I needed in the moment. Now I ask myself, like, how do you want to move your body? Do you want to run? Do you want to walk? Do you want to bike? Do you want to weight lift? Do you just want to stretch today? And so, yeah, now I ask myself those questions and I go based off of what I feel is most right for me in the moment. But back then I would just tell myself, like, you have to get up, you need to go run, and you need to eat this freaking salad that I absolutely hate. And it just wouldn't last, right? And I think we all get into these cycles. And I also think it's very important to ask yourself why you keep falling off. And I think a lot of the times it's because we're doing too much in the beginning at first when we haven't been doing nothing to work towards our goals, and to, start from the absolute top when we're really down here just makes absolutely no sense. When we can start from right here and work our way up here, I think that makes a lot more sense. It's a lot more sustainable and realistic for us. I also have been just giving myself a lot of grace. When I don't feel like working out, I tell myself, you know what, it's okay. You do not have to go all out. You do not have to lift with the heaviest weight. You can do the lighter one. You don't have to be down there for an entire hour. Let's just do 20 minutes. Really just giving myself grace and talking to myself very kindly as if I was my own child. That is how I've been talking to myself, especially when it comes to getting up to work out, or getting up to cook a meal. I talk to myself very kindly and sweetly, and I acknowledge what I'm feeling, but I give myself that little push. I'm like, but you have to get up, and you have to, you have to do this for yourself. I also have been using the 5-second rule, which I got from Mel Robbins off of the Mel Robbins podcast. I love her and her podcast. That's probably one of my favorite podcasts. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. It's all about like personal development stuff. Anyways, the 5-second rule is just basically when you think about doing something that is hard, that you don't necessarily feel like doing in the moment, you count back from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you get up and you do that thing. And it's just kind of like a psychological kind of push to like just make you do something that isn't necessarily pleasing in the moment, right? So like, working out. I think about, I have to get on my workout clothes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I stand up, I get on the clothes. Okay, now I have to walk out the door and go down to the workout room. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. And it sounds so small and honestly so simple and maybe stupid to some people, but it honestly works. Like 9 times out of 10, it usually works for me to just get up and go when I don't feel like doing something. And usually when I start doing that something, I'm totally fine. And so definitely recommend that little trick to get you going when you don't feel like going. And so yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about for you guys today. Very updatey, like what's been going on in my life, what's new, what's the new vibes overall, right? That's kind of what I was trying to get at in this video. And also just brushing on my new identity shift, as well as how you can make an identity shift, because I feel like we're always kind of in this mode of leveling up, which is fine, but I think we can also slow down and slow down and acknowledge what we've already accomplished. But for me, I'm definitely in this period of like transitioning, moving up into a higher version of myself, and I feel like a lot of us are, especially with spring coming around. And I just really wanted to push a message out there that in order to become your dream self, you have to start small. You have to start from the basics, and you have to be realistic with yourself. And don't let social media fool you into doing all of these things and these practices that aren't necessarily necessary for your health and wellness. And, you know, thinking that you have to go all out is actually, I think, harming you more than helping you. And so that is kind of the idea that I wanted to get across today, and really tell you guys, always my messages are always honestly for myself and for you guys as well. Obviously, you know, I'm here to talk to you guys and share my thoughts with you guys and just help you guys along your journey. But also when I'm talking, a lot of the times I'm also talking to myself in a way, and just like speaking things out for myself, so that, you know, I don't know. Yeah. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'm so sorry for being gone for so long. That is absolutely not my plan ever again. But I will see you guys in my next video next week. Bye.